What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Loner Games channel. I go by Jay, aka Loner Beats, and today we have some more retro pickups, baby. That was a little like over the top, probably a little too much. But I'm excited about this haul. I don't think this haul is as big as the last video. It might be. I don't know. I know there's some things in here that I was very excited to get, very excited to find that, like, you know, my local area had. Found some steals. Found some not so, you know, steals, and you know, we're gonna get into that. But before we get into that, I thought like it'd be kind of cool to tell you what games I did start off with, like my first game I started like retro collecting for, and you know, just tell you why I did that. Yeah, so without further ado, let's bring out, I'll get this off the top, we'll talk about that later. It's Marvel, baby. Marvel. It's Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This one was the first game I like went out and grabbed, and I had like no like idea like how big of an influence it was like to the world. I mean, I knew it was popular to the world, but like for me, I just picked this game up because this is what me and my bros used to play, just sitting down at the house, and never on like, you know, the scale of like a competitive sense. Like never like, you know, we didn't go out to like arcades. We didn't even know like that existed. Like I didn't really find out that about like the FGC and like its like endeavors till probably like maybe 6 years ago, maybe. I think when I first started watching Evo, and I was like, yo, what the f is this? Like every year they have a fighting game tournament? Like what? I had no idea. But ever since I've just been in love with it. Like I love it. I love like Evo time. I love, you know, just any kind of like fighting game tournament. I won't say unfortunately, but like, you know, the scene from where I'm at, where I'm from, like we had like maybe like one arcade and they shut it down. And so like, it wasn't really that like, you know, that presence wasn't felt growing up for me. So like when I found out that like, you know, they had in arcades and they were playing this in arcades and people were like traveling to go see it, I was like, man, like what a time, yo. Like to be in the arcade when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 dropped probably would have been like, that's crazy. That's like, you just don't know. Like I don't know, but like I know that was insane. So yeah, it was the first game I grabbed. I picked it up for, I think it was $90, which is really high, but at the same time, it was the game that I wanted. Like I knew when I went out, like I'm gonna go find this game. It's complete. It has, you know, manual in here. You know, this is perfectly in here. And so I was like, yo, like I'm excited. And I played it with my friends, my homies, and everything like that. And it was a great time. It was big. It was crazy. Like man, a lot of good memories come from this one. And this is just from me being at the house, like I said, just bouncing from places to place, bouncing from the homies to, you know, cousin's house and just having a good old time. Birthday parties like were just massive. With that being said, it was very, very like casual play. Like we understood it, but we didn't understand it. And that's like kind of the surprising thing for me is that like watching these fighting games and understanding like, you know, how in depth they actually are. We were just playing for fun. Like to know like, you know, frame datas and, you know, what's plus and minus and stuff like that. Like that's a whole new world. And like once I found out about that, I was like, give me more, feed me more. Like I need to see all of that. So yeah, first game I grabbed was Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the PlayStation 2. I was extremely excited about this one. This is just, it's a gem. Like, I can't say anything, you know, negative about this game at all. With that being said, I then went out on the hunt because I was like, oh, you know, what's the best way to play? And I got in that phase, and I heard about the PS3 version, which was like a digital code that is, you know, kind of like very difficult to find, especially like unused. And then I heard that, like, I think I'm correct. I think what I heard was true, is that the Dreamcast version was the best way to play. And I don't know if it's arcade perfect. I don't really like, I don't know. I have no idea. But I ended up picking up the Dreamcast version. Once again, you know, complete with like its manual and everything. So like we're all here, we're all good here. I played on Dreamcast, and it's phenomenal. The only thing I would like to change about the Dreamcast is that, like, you know, maybe using my fight stick, and I know that they have like a Brooks converter or something like that to where you can use like your PS4 stick on the Dreamcast, which I might look into going forward. So yeah, that was my first pickup ever for like retro collecting. Don't know if you wanted to know that or not, but you know, I just thought I'd share. I thought, you know, I'd give you a little piece of what I got going on. So without further ado, let's get into this stack. First things off the list, I bought some more from GameStop because I was looking for this series. I was actually looking for the first one, but they had the second one at a pretty cool price, so I ended up picking it up. Is Lunar 2. PlayStation RPG. It's, of course, you know, not complete or nothing like that. It's like the disc only. And it was pretty solid. Like all three, there's three discs, and they all came in pretty solid condition. No hiccups here. It was pretty solid. And like I said, I was looking for the first one. I actually found a store around me that had the first one in stock, like a GameStop. It like had the game in stock. Called them up, they shipped it to me, but when I got it, the discs were just like, they were mangled. They were changed. It was like, it was devastating. So be on the lookout for, you know, maybe a shorter video when I find like, you know, one complete. I wanted to play one. I have the version of the first one on the Game Boy Advance, and I was been playing that, and I was like, man, like this is great, like, but how am I supposed to play it? I saw that they had like still like anime scenes in the Game Boy version. I was like, what's this? What's going on here? Where'd this come from? And I found out it was a remake from the PS1 version. So I will be on the lookout for that. I will be trying to acquire that at a pretty reasonable price. Hopefully I can find it for a reasonable price. And we'll go from there. Yeah. So we have like this 2 is here. Like I said, this 2 was solid. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And then this 3 was also solid. I don't think many people actually make it to like the third disc, unfortunately, or the second or third disc. So it kind of like, you know, played out for me. I'm going to have to find a case for that because of 3 discs. I'm probably going to end up finding like some kind of replacement case, or maybe like checking eBay or something like that to kind of like complete the set of my own, which is kind of like, I enjoy that. Like looking at, you know, certain places and finding manuals and packaging them over here and pulling these over here. And so, yeah, we're going to try to make a complete set out of that. We got the game. The hard part is now over. Now we got to find the case and the mail. Although that could be incorrect. We'll see. I haven't like actually looked it up yet. Next on the list is a PS3 title, and it's the Ratchet and Clank Collection. This one was more so, I wanted to play the Ratchet and Clank games, or maybe like capture footage for it, or like do a stream for it. But the PS2 quality, like from capture card, wasn't always the best. Like I could do it, but I wanted to do it like, you know, in a clean manner, and that wasn't really kind of ideal for PS2. Not until I figure out how to like upgrade, you know, quality, maybe with like, you know, a FrameMeister or, you know, OSCC or something like that, which I have been looking into. Cause I really want to share most of these games. Like that's why if you check my channel, I don't really have a lot of like PS2 games. Maybe I don't think I have any PS2 up right now, but I have a nice collection of PS2 games I want to like share. But the quality is just not what I want it to be. So we got Ratchet and Clank. Going to do some kind of like maybe video in the future. I'm pretty sure like the first one is just, well, the first one has been remade on PS4 with the Ratchet and Clank that's on the PS4. So it's more so just for the second and third one. I'll probably play the PS4 version of the first one and just, you know, stream it and, you know, see how that goes. So yeah, it's just more so for the second and third one. Speaking of third ones, we have a nice little series over here. A very nice series that I was only looking for one, and that's how it always starts, is I was only looking for one, and then eventually like they just tumble in your boy's lap, and we had to, you know, I had to finish it. Once I had the first one in my hand, I had to go and like, you know, You gotta finish the set. You gotta finish the set. Boom. Wild Arms 3. Yes, this is an RPG. It's part of the Wild Arms series. Wild Arms was on the PS1. Yeah, the first two are on the PS1. And I ended up picking up Wild Arms 3. I already have it digitally for the PS4. And I just wanted like a physical copy of it. Like, I don't know why. It was cheap. It was like, I got this one for maybe like $4, you know, complete. So, you know, discs, you know, manuals here. It's all solid. Everything's in perfect working fashion. I was looking for 3, and I was like, oh, you know, I didn't know. I knew of Wild Arms, the series, but I didn't like really like delve into it. Especially for like the PS2 era, like PS2, GameCube, Xbox era, I didn't really like jump into. At that time period in my life, I wasn't able to buy consoles. I didn't like, retro was not a thing. My family shared one console and we shared the same game. So right now I'm just going back and grabbing a lot of like, you know, games that are really good and the series are really good, and hopefully, you know, I can, you know, dive into these and play these games. It's something I get really excited about because I missed out on a lot of like certain like titles. We then picked up Wild Arms 4. So this is the 4th iteration of it. Once again, comes with, you know, you get the game, you get the manual. It was complete. I ended up picking this one up for around $29, $28. So like $30 for this one. This was kind of like the hard one to find. Like, it was weird because I heard that this one isn't like the most like accepted. Like, people don't enjoy playing the 4th one. So I was like, man, like, why can I not find this one? It took me maybe like, it didn't take me that long. It was just on a whim. Like, the place I go to got one in and I was on them. Like, I was like, yo, y'all put that Wild Arms on sale yet? Did y'all, what's going on? And they were like, yo, Jay, we know you, we got you, it's on hold, just don't worry about it, come pick it up whenever. So I picked it up, $30, easy peasy, ready to go. So Wild Arms Ultra Code F, which is a remake of the first Wild Arms, and this is what kind of got my itch started. I was looking to play Wild Arms. I didn't like this original sprites in the PS1 version. I understand, like, that's how the game was, like, that's what came out. That's how it was started. That's how you're supposed to play it. It just did not, like, it did not latch on to me. So when I heard they made a remake of the first one, I was like, yo, I gotta go get this. And then I checked my emails, and GameStop sends me an email like, yo, Wild Arms Ultra Code F is on sale for $40. And I was like, oh, word. Okay, let me go see what this is about. So I picked it up. They came in a rinky-dink case. And I said rinky-dink because this one I had to like kind of like piece together. Like, it came with 2 discs, no manual for this one. So I had to find a manual. So y'all know anybody who got a manual for, you know, Wild Arms Ultra Code F, hit your boy up, let me know. Let me know. Tell me what you got and how much you selling for. Came with 2 discs. So you have like an animated version or bonus anime with the first episode of like the Wild Arms series, and of course the game. However, when this was shipped to me, it did not come with the second like latch for the disc. So I was really kind of like peeved, not even peeved, but just like, yo, I gotta like find a case with like two slots. And that's actually kind of hard to find on PlayStation. I was really like looking, and certain games have it, certain games don't. I know some of the Xenosaga games have 2 discs, and so like I wasn't gonna break up that case. I ended up grabbing a copy of Devil May Cry 2, which has 2 discs, and it came with the tray. And I just pulled the tray out. So sorry, Devil May Cry 2. I had to finish the set. But this game was like $3, and it had the 2 discs like laps or flaps or whatever. Ended up picking up that, breaking that one down, taking the tray out of that, putting in this, and now I have an almost complete collection, I believe. I just need the manual, and then we'll go from here. All right, next game on the list is also part of the series, and boy, it was pricey. And I'm a little upset at myself because the amount I paid, I could have got it like brand new on eBay the same day. I was like, nah, I can find it for this, a better price. Nah. Let me just, go around and look. And that is Wild Arms 5. I paid like $90 for this, which is like, boy, I didn't want to, but I needed to complete the set. The place I got it from took really good care of this one. This one also came with, manual and the disc. I had bought it before. I had found a retro shop that I kind of frequent kind of often, and they had it for $50. And I was like, oh yeah, let me get it. Didn't have like the manual or nothing like that, but at the time I didn't really care. I just wanted to play Wild Arms 5. Like I was just like, yo, I want to play this one. Let me just grab it for 50. The disc had like stickers on it, and it wouldn't get past like just the first intro to the dungeon. And I'm pretty sure that what I've heard is that if anything on top is gonna like mess up how the game plays. Luckily I took it back. The guy at the game shop was like, yeah, we had a deal where like if it didn't work, because the disc was a little like it was a little jank. If it didn't work, I was going to be able to get my money back for it. And I got my money back for it. I kind of told him like, hey, I think it's the stickers. He took the stickers off and then they worked. But at the time, I had already bought this version of it, which I'm cool with because the quality of this one was way better than the $50 version. The disc wasn't scratched. The manual was intact. The only thing I'm missing is the little gold box that comes with it. And the eBay one was brand new and had the box with it. So am I a stickler for it? Did I want the box? Do I really need the box? Probably not. Would it help to make it a complete piece? Absolutely. The funny thing and the ironic thing about this is that I ended up buying this game when I was like maybe like 12, 13, 11, somewhere between like the preteen, so 12, 13, at a Game Crazy. It was in a bin of games that were like, these ones gotta go, and it was $10. I was sick when I realized that this game was like $90, like worth $90. Not that I would sell it, because I'm not really into that. Just for the fact that like the worth of it. Like I didn't even play it. Like I played maybe like the first little intro scene, like, and that was it. Like, and at the time, like as a kid, like as for me, the kid I was, like, I didn't understand like the depth of certain games until I got older and started really like sitting down and figuring things out. Prime example of that is like my love for Ocarina of Time. Like I didn't really get it. I didn't play a lot of Zelda games growing up. It was never like I said, we didn't have single player games in the household I was in. But once I sat down and played Ocarina of Time, beat it, I was like, this is probably one of the greatest games of all time, like easily. So to bring that back to Wild Arms, like hopefully I can play this one and like really dive in to see how really good these stories were, and play a couple of these games. Just get the feel for it as an adult and have the time to like actually sit there and play through and understand. Plus at this time period now, there's guides everywhere. So if I would get stuck, I could just look something up online, look on YouTube or whatever. At that time point, you didn't have nothing. You had to figure it out, and that was it. The next couple games are pretty solid. I'll start with this one. I found it at a toy shop that I went to, and it was $20, which I wasn't looking for this game, but if I found it at a solid price, I was gonna pick it up. It's kind of one of those things where like it wasn't part of my collection. I wasn't really looking for it, but this price was kind of like too hard to pass up. And that is Pikmin on the GameCube. No manual on this one. It came with the disc, and the disc was really clean. I was very excited to like get this one for $20. Like I said, I wasn't really looking for it, but it kind of like fell into my lap. Never played the Pikmin series. I have no idea what that's about. I just know I wanted to complete my GameCube collection that I have, which is turning out pretty nice. I think I'm missing a couple little ones here and there. I think I'm missing like F-Zero at the moment, and of course Pikmin 2 and Star Fox Assault. I think those are the three that are like, once I get those, like my set will be like pretty much done. part of me is like, I want to get Gacha Force, but like, I don't know if I want to pay like that much. Like the game is great, but I don't know if it's worth like the $300. Who knows? I may hit the lottery one day and be like, oh yeah, I got Gacha Force. But at the moment right now, I just don't really know. I played it on like emulation and it was cool. It's just like, I don't know if it's worth 300. I don't know. But yeah, picked up Pikmin, $20 at a toy store. They were just like, yeah, we just have these random stack of games. And I was like, ah, okay. They also had a copy of Time Splitters 2, which is what I was originally looking for. So hopefully I can go back and grab that because I only had like a dub at the time. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and try to grab that Time Splitters 2 because I heard Time Splitters is a really good game from the makers like GoldenEye, and I heard the story is really good to play. The multiplayer is really fun. So maybe I can get somebody in here and we'll play like, you know, maybe some multiplayer in Time Splitters. Yeah, on to the next one. The next one I was looking for because I got rid of this one foolishly a long time ago. And I didn't understand like its worth. Like I knew, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be around. And these joints was out of here. And that is the Metal Gear Solid Collection. It's Legacy Edition. This is not it's the same copy as like the HD one, except this one comes with Metal Gear Solid 4 and the digital codes. Fun fact, I found this one brand new for like $40. So I have all like the digital codes that, you know, they haven't been used or nothing like that. I just haven't used them yet because I already have Metal Gear Solid 1 on my PS3 and I didn't install like the VR missions or nothing like that. But yeah, to this set, it comes with the HD collection on the first disc or disc 2, and on the last disc is Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots, which I did not get a chance to play. I played through 2 and 3, or 1, 2, and 3, and I had a blast. I just did not play 4. Old Snake, which at the time wasn't like, I wasn't rocking with it. I was like, bro, nobody wants to be old Snake. Like, I don't want to be old. I want to be young Snake. But that was me then. This is me now. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try to finish the story. I played 5. 5. It just didn't feel like a Metal Gear game to me. It felt like Metal Gear Sandbox, and maybe I'm just being a little too like hypercritical about it. But I didn't get that espionage feel with 5. So hopefully, you know, me going back and playing, you know, through the series or playing, you know, 4, I get that, you know, actual like Metal Gear feel. But you know, who knows? On to like the last game, and this one was definitely like a hypocrite moment. And look, man, if y'all saw the price points that people were asking for this, y'all would have did the same thing I did. It actually paid out. It actually panned out pretty well. So, without further ado, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, or the Twin Snakes, which is a remake of 1 with the graphics of Metal Gear Solid 2. When I seen this originally, I just thought it was Metal Gear Solid 2 for the GameCube, and I was like, I don't need this game. I saw this game several times. Like, it was always there, and I was like, well, I already played 2. Like, I don't need it. I didn't know it was 1. But that was because the guy who told me, who was selling it to me, was like, yeah, it's Metal Gear Solid 2. And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't need it. Once I did my research and found out that it was a remake of 1, I was like, yo, I gotta get it. Now, I know what I said. I said, yeah, man, I don't know about buying no GameCube games from GameStop. Might stay away from the GameCube games as well, just because like the discs are really small. Shame. I know what I said. I did just that. So go ahead, hammer me with the boos, sharp, boo this man. I definitely was hypocritical on what that on that one in specifically. However, what people were asking for, I saw that like the retro convention, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I want $80," and I was like, "Huh, all right, yeah, I can find it somewhere else." I went to another shop and was like, I want $90. Huh. You out of your goddamn mind. GameStop had it for $60, which I was okay with paying, only because that if the discs were bad, I could just return them to GameStop and get my money back. Which is kind of like the dope thing about the retro shopping from GameStop, is that like most retro places don't give you your money back on certain games. they give you like store credit. So to like shop from GameStop and be like, hey, I'm gonna get this one, and if it doesn't work, I'm just bring it back and just get your money back, no questions asked. It's easy. It's a very simple process. Although sometimes GameStop prices do be a little bit higher than what I expected, and you can probably find certain titles for cheaper prices. But this one specifically, like I said, was $60, and this did not come complete. It came with 2 discs, and I also downfall about GameStop, where they ship things. These discs are very small. They're very fragile. They had them in like little yellow freaking sleeves, just bent up in the corner, tucked in the case, and I was like, yo. But I knew, because I had ordered this one the same time I got the Wild Arms. So when I went to my retro shop that I normally frequent, I knew that I was going to need a double disc GameCube case, which that was a little bit hard to find as well. There's not a lot of those. There's more in the GameCube selection than the PlayStation selection. But for this one in particular, I'll just open up and show you. I took an Enter the Matrix case. So Enter the Matrix for GameCube has the 2 disc slots, and he sold me the case for like $4, which is all I needed. And it worked out perfectly fine. But the Enter the Matrix case has 2 slots, as you see there, and I just placed them in there because the one slot or one sleeve case was not going to work for me, and I had to find that one. So I think it was a pretty good haul. The discs worked perfectly fine. They were little let me see if I can bring them out. They were a little suspect as far as top and bottom layers, but they did play. So this is disc 1. Let's bring this in close, focus in. So it's this one looks cool. The back of it, it's okay. Some scratches there. The little ring around just the outer was a little you can tell they rebuff, and with rebuff and stuff you can actually mess games up. You gotta be really careful. So I don't know what their process is, but it was yeah. Same thing with with this 2. Top is a little, it's all right. Not particularly bad or nothing like that. Backside, it's okay. Little scratches here and there. Once again, the little buffer ring. So it wasn't the best versions of it, but they work perfectly fine. Might show some gameplay of that, just because I never experienced Metal Gear 1 and with the Metal Gear 2 graphics. And yeah, man, that was it. I would say out of this collection, the one I'm probably really excited about was Wild Arms 5. Granted, I paid $90 for it. It was one of those games that I needed to complete a set, and the set's complete. Now I believe all my majorly expensive RPGs for the PS2 are out of here. Because last video we got Xenosaga 3, which that was a pretty expensive one. Wild Arms 5 is out of here. So now it's just picking up the little joints and just making sure my RPG collection PS2 is kind of solid. I think that's pretty much the heavy hitters for that. I know I got to get a couple more games to complete my RPG series for the PS2. But once again, it's one of those things I want to share these games, and I got to figure out a way to get the best quality out to you guys. I just don't like the very bland, quality. I have component cables for it, and the component cables, they look great. It's just not the best. It looks great on my CRT. They look phenomenal on the CRT. I just want to make sure that when put them in video form that they are solid, enjoyable quality. Kind of for all my GameCube stuff, which is why I will do more GameCube videos. Speaking of which, Crazy Taxi should be out by the time you guys are watching this. I use what is the Eon adapter for the GameCube, and that kind of it doesn't, I won't say, it just makes the image cleaner. It probably does upscaling. It maybe does upscaling a little bit, maybe a lot, but let's put it like this. The Eon adapter looks great for the GameCube games when you're recording videos, But when I plug in like my S video cable into like my CRT, of course it looks better because that's just where it was supposed to be meant. It was meant for a CRT. S video cables on the CRT is just like, it's nuts. So I can only imagine what the component cables for the GameCube actually looked like. I'm just not in the market to spend $200 on cables just yet. So until then, I just use the Eon GameCube adapter, which I'll show some footage pretty soon here. Like I said, by this Crazy Taxi should be out, and that's using the GameCube adapter. Once again, shout out to, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This is the 20th year. EVO announced that they have a little 8-man tournament going on, which is going to be nuts. I personally would like to see a full-fledged, maybe 16-man tournament, but 8 is great. I'll take that. It's Marvel time. Marvel is back, baby, and I'm ready to go. It's been real. I'll catch you guys later. It's Loner Games. I'm out.